I thought I'd come back. I'm looking at this KORS for a reversal to set up. So this is probably the first time that I've been able to, catch one ahead of time that's live. On the level I'm looking at, this is 49.17. It's actually 49.19. So I'm looking to see if it's going to reject there and possibly reverse. Now the SPY's got positive ticks ringing in, and you've got the SPY that's recovering. So I'll be real skeptical and real cautious about going short here. But this is you got a nice range from 49.19 all the way back to the 9, which will be our first profit target. Now I know it's coming up and it will probably close in, if we do get the reversal here. But everything is looking, pretty decent. Wish we had more volume, but we don't. We're working on ascending volume. We're building volume in. We still have some more time in this candle to see if we can continue this trend. But we're running into resistance here. We're trading outside of the deviation band, but it is, trending up. The deviation band hasn't rolled over yet. So it's still showing some strength, but like I said, with these levels that I'm looking at, a lot of times they'll go 10 cents on either side of it, because it is a supply zone. And so right now I'm looking for this 5-minute candle to reject 49.19, and if it does, I'm going to look for minute chart. I'm sorry. If this candle rejects, I'm looking at the 2-minute chart to see if I can get a confirmation on it. So I'm starting to like what I see. Oops, I'm sorry. I don't have that many. I didn't mean to do that. This one should be 250. See, if I don't have the right, let me move this out the way. Yeah, I'm in at 49.09, and I'm gonna give it, I'm not gonna put a hard stop in this. So what I'm gonna do is wait to see if we lose this level here. Because it confirmed, I'm looking at the 2-minute and it's confirming. So, I went ahead and got in before this 5-minute candle closed to, confirm the loss of this level. I went to the 2-minute chart, and what I was seeing on the 2-minute, gave me that confirmation. So, ideally I wouldn't be because this was setting up and this was looking pretty decent. I went ahead and I was going to show you kind of demonstrate how I handle my reversal trades. So just to recap, what I was looking for, it was slamming into this resistance, and I realized I was talking and I was pointing at my Thinkorswim chart, which you can't see. So what I was looking at, we were slamming into this resistance here, which was 49.19, and I was waiting for it to reject, and then the next candle to be, to start confirming the rejection, which was this. So it hasn't closed yet, so there's still no guarantee that we're going to lose this level. What I did, I went to the 2-minute chart and I started looking at what was happening here. When this candle was closing, I got in. Normally I wait for this candle, but it was closing and I saw, weakness. So I went ahead and got in. It still may not work. I still may be early. That's kind of the problem I've been having for the last couple of weeks, is getting in early and it goes back and retests, gives a false push to that level, and then it starts to work. So that might happen here. But if it does, you'll see how I deal with that. And then maybe we can get a breakout where I get stopped out. We get a false break, and then I can get back in and show you how you can just reset. So I'm watching this 5-minute candle. We've got, a little bit to go, just over a minute, 70 seconds on this 5-minute candle to see if this candle is gonna close below. If this 5-minute candle closes below it, then that's going to confirm this rejection. And again, that doesn't mean that it can't turn around and go back. It can always do that. That happened to me on a trade earlier this week where this candle confirmed the rejection, but then it turned around and pushed back above this level. So that, that is a possibility. So I don't really feel comfortable in a trade until I get another candle to close below this candle. And then I'll feel a little bit more comfortable about it coming down and getting to the 9 moving average. But everything about this trade I liked. So that's why I'm sharing it with you. Okay, now watch this candle. If this candle doesn't make a new low, then we may have a test and a break at this level, which will stop me out. So we have to, we're going to keep an eye on that. And you see that's exactly what's happening. Now I could do one or two things here. I can sit here and hold and say, you know what, this thing has got to break. It's got to break. It's got to break down. All last week and this week I've been getting these false breaks where it goes back and retests this level, but then it ends up working in the end. Well, and I could sit here and hold it today and not stick to my stop, and that'll dig a hole even deeper for me. And I think you learn more from these challenges and these things that are going to not work quite right, and that you're going to have to adapt and on the fly. So now my trade is going to be $100. So if I'm in 250 shares, what I'll have to do is I pretty much go with 25 cents. So 34 is going to be my stop. So if we go past 49.34, then I'm going to have to stop out, and then I'll have to reset this. So I can do two things. I mean, it's so close now, I don't want to start making a hard stop and then it pops up there. And this is what I've been dealing with, and this is another thing I really wanted to share, is what happens when your trade doesn't go quite the way you want it to. And I've mentioned in a lot of my videos about my timing being off, and me getting in, and I'm waiting for confirmation. And that's why I always say that I like for this candle, I like for this candle to close below this candle so that I feel more confident, you know, in what I'm doing. So it's kind of moving slow. I can be able to put, and again, if you don't feel that you're gonna stop out, see, 49.34. If you don't feel that you can manage your stops, you want to put a stop order in. I mean, I can click it immediately fill, you know, if I need to. But that's what you need to do. If you have trouble stopping out, like this morning, I didn't put a hard stop in, and it bit me, you know, because I was looking at this and I thought I knew better. I thought I had, you know, better sense than I was showing, but I didn't. I let the thing run, and I let it blow past my max loss, and then that's it. So my max loss on this trade is going to be 25 cents. All right, it's on my stop, so I clicked it and it stopped me out. So now I'll sit back and wait. And this is a great indication of when a perfect reversal setup, you know, comes into play. See, here's the next. And everything is right on this. You know, everything is right, but it doesn't work. You know, it starts to work. You get a little confirmation, then it turns around and runs away on you just like this. So what if I hadn't stuck to my max loss? Now, what if I hadn't stuck to that? Then what would have happened? You know, I'd be in bad shape right now, because this thing took off and closed back above this level here. And so what we're looking at, this can actually be another level. Now this is going to be, it should be like around 49.43. Let me fix the price on it. That's close enough. That's that level. And you see where we went up and we closed above that level here, and this one went up, it pushed up, so now we're starting to sell off. So what you can do is you can anticipate this level holding, because we're very overextended. This could be the volume top right here. You know, we did have a break in the setup, but this could be the volume top. You don't know. So you just have to sit back and you wait for confirmation. That's why you can't anticipate anything. You wait for confirmation. And, you know, this was a confirm that this was probably going to reverse here, but it was a fake. Got to be ready for that. So let me see if I can find another level of resistance above KORS. Above 49.43 that it may run into. Alright, we got one here, but this is way up. Let's see, then 49.78. That's going to be the 200. Come on, thing. All right. 49.78. I'm gonna make it white because it is a 200 moving average from the daily. So now I can see it up here. I'm gonna put it on here, 49.78, and it's starting to blow through that. And what I'll do is I change this, to white. So this tells me that this is the daily 200. So that, you don't know. If it blows through that, then I pretty much take it off my watch. If it struggles like it's doing now and then it closes below it, we've got about a minute left in this candle, then it'll be worth me trying again. And I'll go ahead and try it again. And this is why you can't anticipate. You have to wait, and you have to wait for confirmation. So we're gonna do this again for this. I'll just do 200 shares this time. I'll make it easier. And what we need to do, we need to wait. I'm gonna wait for confirmation. I've got, this where it rejected, this candle going. Now, yeah, it could fool you again. It could fool me again. But in this case, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use the same criteria. Now the 200 from the daily, that's a strong level. And a lot of times it will reject there. So we got about 20 more seconds in this 2-minute candle here. That's showing some indecision. So I'm still going to be a little bit skeptical about getting in. Alright, so we closed. This is still a green candle. So that's not a clear rejection. That's why we wait. It's not a clear rejection yet. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. Again, typically I would not be trading right now. This is not, I pretty much would be done because it's Friday and, things have not gone according to plan and all of this stuff. So I would not be trading. The only reason I'm doing this is because this was the first perfect example that I could demonstrate, how I managed this. And you see, we had to stop out. Just imagine if I hadn't stopped out. What emotions would I be going through right now? I'd be down big. So I'm waiting for this 5-minute candle to close. This 2-minute candle to close. We got about 30 more seconds. I'm going to see what it does. If it closes and the next one opens below it, I'm going to try it. But right now, we're still, trying to push over this daily 200 level at 49.78. It's trying to confirm over it. Now, if this candle prints green again, that got a green candle. See, we got to wait. You could have easily been fooled into that. This thing is just way too strong. So it just blew past the 200 here. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people trying to short this. And a lot of people are shorting it. This thing is probably going to squeeze. And, that's why you have to make sure that you have your stops and you stick to them. Oh, yeah, Flavio, I found that level, that 49.69. I found that level too, but it wasn't respecting it. By the time I saw it, it was already gone through it. It already blown through it. And you see, it's having trouble with this 200. It is really having trouble. So now, when I see a candle more conviction that we may reverse here, because what happens, you had a lot of people that got short early and put in their hard stops, and this probably took them out. But again, you have to wait. You have to be patient. You have to wait for this candle to reject, and you have to wait for confirmation. Because it is having trouble with this 200. See here, it tried to push over it. Here, we got a long wick on it. This is like a spinning top. This is indecision. So this is a fight between the buyers and the sellers. Obviously, I hate getting stopped out here, but I'm happy that, we caught this. And that I could kind of explain to you what I'm looking at, when these trades hit. And why you have to wait for confirmation. So what? We got fooled. We followed plan. We followed, our plan to enter. It just turned around on us. And we recognized it. And, we employed our hard stop. Now just imagine yourself holding on. Now, all of my trades like this week, when it did this, it just came and took out stop losses. Unfortunately, I was one of those poor people that got stopped out, and then the move worked. So what if I had said, okay, I have 4 trades that did that to me. The last 4 trades did that to me. So I'm going to hold because I know this thing is going to come back. So I held through this, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. And then this candle opened and it went straight up. That's when you get that deer in the headlight look. And you don't know what to do. Next thing you know, you're only in 200 shares, but then you're down $200-$300, $400, and it just keeps going. I mean, look at it. There's another level here at 50.33 that I found. I just put it at 54. This is why I hate working with DOS charts. It's so easy to draw the lines and change the colors on Thinkorswim. Alright, so at this point, I'm not going to be too interested in this. All because of this the price action that it's exhibiting. Now, had this tested this level here, this 50, and it sat here just like it did here, it tested it, pulled back, and we had another candle that tested it and held, then yeah, I would think about getting it here for the move back to the 20. I mean, to the daily 200. You know, that's a nice profit window. But with it doing this, I'm not going to be interested in it. Because this is just wicked price action. And this can chop you in, chop you out, or whatever. So here, you know, 49.78 is the daily 200. So you only have like 30 cents if I got in here. Now see, it's confirmed an entry for me right here at 50. But based on what we saw, there's no way I'm going to take this. You see why? You see what happened? That was another fake out. That's why you have to wait for this 5-minute candle to actually close. Because what if I got in off this 2-minute that we just saw? We just saw the 2-minute setting
KORS,
but the 5-minute wasn't set up. Look at this thing. Damn, I should have got it long. When it held this 200, that should have been a sign to get in it and ride this thing up. This would be a point. I mean, unreal. I didn't see that in this stock. Because this thing was massive.
COL.
This was massively oversold. I mean, overbought. This was well over, the RSI was well over 80. At where we got in, the RSI was well over 80. And it's gone up. It's probably going to go up $2. It's unreal. But sit here and think, you know, what if I didn't get out? You know, what if I was afraid to get stopped out here on the live stream and I was just holding? Because I saw this 200 up here and I was like, yeah, this is going to be strong. It's not going to push through that. Imagine the fool I would look like right now. look at the swings and the price action that started. When we were getting in here, we didn't have these swings. You know, it didn't start until we got up here near the 200. Once we got around the daily 200, that's when we started getting all of these swings. You know, each one of these are a supply zone. You know, this one is a little bit stronger because it's off the daily, and you're probably going to have more attention. You know, the daily 200 moving average. But then, you know, we still had these levels from the daily chart. And you saw whenever it approached these levels, you know, you saw the buyers and sellers as it approached it. And as it got on the other side of it, you saw the buyers and sellers come in. So these were strong supply zones. And look, the volume is still increasing. You know, we're still setting up for a reversal. So let me go back to the daily chart and see if I can find any more resistance up ahead. This is pretty close. I don't like this. Isn't really. That's more or less chop anyway. So I've got 50, 72, which it already hit. We got 5106, which is next in line. But you can see it's having a hard time clearing 5033. And this is just choppy price action. And look, here's a confirm on the 2 minute. There's this another fake out. You can't take this until this 5 minute candle closes. And this candle just opened. Now, if we get this set up, okay, now, you know, I will feel better about this because we've got 3 solid red candles in a row in the 2 minute, nice price action. You know, so it would be worth taking the risk. I'll go get in and let's see, 50.33 would be my risk. If it closed back above 50.33, then I would be out. I'm only in 200 shares, so that would be, you know, that would be well within my risk parameter. See, I was trying to get a tick up to 18. A lot of times when you do that, you kind of miss your entry. So I'm gonna, so that's an entry that I would take, you know, that I could take right now. That would get me in a little bit early. Or I can sit here and wait for this 5 minute candle to close. So I would have gotten in, you know, right up here. So around, you know, between 18 and 20 is what I'm trying to do. So when it pops up, I'm going to stop running my mouth and if it comes back. If not, then I'm going to have to wait. And I don't like waiting because that gives me, you know, an entry a lot further away, which gives, makes my stop a lot wider. So I definitely don't want to do that. So we've got about a minute and a half before this 5-minute candle closes. The other thing that you may notice, the 2 minute is sitting right here on the 9. See if I can catch this run up. Trying to catch it at 15. That's not going to do it. I don't have a... there it goes. I missed it. I took my order off too soon. And I wouldn't do this. I'm just sitting here playing with this. Really, when you get your entry target, you just go ahead and get in. Don't worry about catching the extra cent here and there. Because when you do, you get caught up. So I got it at 12. Let's see. We should at least get a little. Damn it. Might not happen. I just need to get in so we can do this trade. Oh, come on. Playing around with this, I missed my entry. This is why I don't talk much while I'm trying to trade, because I lose focus and I start doing stupid stuff. And I'm giving up too much room here. Way too much room. Alright, I'm in now. So this is going to mess up my stop. My stop's going to be, no, it can't be 34. It can't be that far away. So all I can do is put a 20-cent stop on it. Or maybe a 30-cent stop is all I would give it. Because you see that it would be 50.32. And you got to put it in and you got to stick to it. Now again, ordinarily, this time of day on Friday, I probably wouldn't be taking this trade. But since we're here and we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and do it. You see, we're already stopped out of this one time for $60 loss. So the first move we're going to look for is a move down to the 9 moving average, or right here, which is right at the 200. Now it's 49.78. So that's not that much profit on a 200 share position size, because look at the bad entry. And this is exactly what happens when you wait. If you wait for this candle to close, which is why I didn't do it here. You know, had I waited for this candle to close and then get in here, this could have happened, and I could have gotten a bad entry, and all my profit targets have been taken up. And here, this confirmed right here on the 2-minute. We got that third tick down, and with me running my mouth, I just didn't take it. And I made the decision to just go ahead and take it, too late. So I just waited for this candle to print. And this is the more conservative approach. You're going to make less money, but you're not going to get stopped out like I did here. More than likely, there's an 80% chance you will not get stopped out like I did right here. But you want to be ready to take it. So when we start getting prints in the 49.80s, some solid prints, then you want to take your stop loss off, and you want to get ready to exit. Now I use market orders because I'm only using a couple hundred shares, and I can get out in and out real easy. So that's why I do that. So now it's a patience game. You have to watch it, chew through some levels. You'll see as it hits a level, a supply zone. You'll see buyers and sellers come in, and they'll take each other out, and then we'll move to the next price point. And now imagine if I had my P&L up here, and I'm looking at how much money I'm making going up and down, up and down. That's why if you sit here and watch it tick, and you're trading for money versus trading for the skill of trading, then you're going to get taken out. So, and this is why we put stops in. You see that? Why wouldn't you do that? On a trade just like this, why wouldn't you put a stop? And this is exactly why. Because if you didn't, what would have happened when you saw the price turn around like that? How many of you would have frozen? So just think about that. So this is why I came back on and did this trade. Yeah, it cost me a couple bucks, but that's fine. I think that's when we learn the most important lessons is when we actually lose. That's where the learning takes place. You don't learn from winning so much, but you learn from losing. You learn from making the mistakes. So I'm not going to really have time to do a recap today because I got to get ready to go get my son. But I'm glad we got this in. And you saw the importance of waiting for confirmation. You saw the importance of using stops and being able to stop out. Because here, I was building a stop loss, but I never activated it. So as soon as it hit my level, I clicked it. And if you don't have the ability to do that, put in a hard stop like we did here, because this can create a lot of anxiety. All right, but that's it. If anybody has any questions about what I was talking about, just shoot me an email, ed@warriortrading.com. And if you're in chat, you know where I'm at. You just send me a PM and I'll be there. So everybody have a great weekend. Study, practice if you have on demand. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Especially after a tough week. Go back and See if you can find things that can either help you take a better trade or stay out of a trade. That's what this is all about. So the more focus and the more time that you spend, the more screen time you get learning your setups, the better you're going to be. And the more consistent you're going to be. So y'all have a great weekend, and I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning.